Yesterday on the channel, I talked about some silent skills that nobody teaches, nobody talks about. Well, people do talk about, but there is nothing that you go to a school or you go to a university to learn. But these are the skills that they play a big role, and these skills come when you do some self exploration, you engage in some self awareness activities, and rarely these are found. Even though there are many successful people around, but you see them not, none of these skills are as present as they should be otherwise. And I picked up adaptability yesterday. I'm going to drop a link to yesterday's video here. Go check that out. And today I want to talk about one other skill that is that's something that people say you have to be born with it, but I believe that you can learn that skill also as you go along. You see, the hardest seasons of your life, they not necessarily change you. They do, but they also tune you into others. And the tuning part, when you tune yourself into others, as your life situations, your circumstances, they change you, they tune you into others. And when that happens, in that moment, empathy is born. So, very simple example: if you don't lose your job and you don't struggle with your bills, with your payments and all, chances are that you will not be able to perfectly get yourself in tune and understand somebody else who is going through that problem. I've seen people say, I understand what you're going through. That's a different level of understanding. But if that individual has also gone through the same situation and now says, I understand you, that's a whole different level of depth. Um, it is proven that hardships create connections. When you struggle, then one thing that goes away from you is your ability to judge. Well, judge, when I say judge the wrong way. So it strips away the judgment bias from you. You see yourself in others' pain. You start to understand others without any words. You see people's feelings. You will not have any difficulty once you have lived a situation. You will be very fast, you'll be very quick in spotting other people in the same situation. You spot them, you recognize them, and then they don't need to tell you what they're going through. They don't need to express. Chances are they may not have enough words to express what pain they are going through. So you can see through. That's empathy right there. Okay, let's take this into work, into business. Yes, strategy is needed when you go up in the ladder, and as you attain higher and higher responsibilities in the corporate ladder, people look up to you as a leader, and there is some level of thinking that is necessary for you to carry on the business. But a very deep exploration of leadership will show you that some of the best leaders are very empathetic. Yes, they are strategic, but they are empathetic. They are managing goals. As a leader, you got to manage goals, but you along the way, when you have the empathy angle, then you're also now managing humans apart from goals. A classic example of this is parents. The way parents use empathy to guide without breaking trust. We talking about business, we also see that in business too, where entrepreneurs spend time understanding customers and the customers' pain points before building solutions. the deeper that, well, when there is a presence of empathy there, that's when you really understand the pain points. Empathy is sometimes perceived as a weakness in a world that is very complex and is very logical, very mathematical. Empathy tends to kind of take a backseat. I've been questioned about that, and I've consistently said that it's the strength. It it it's not softness. You could be assertive. You could be drawing. You are assertive you could be authoritative. You could be assertive. You could be drawing the boundaries. At the same time, you are also exhibiting empathy. So it's not softness. It's the strength. It can't be viewed as a weakness, and it's a skill that will make influence, trust, and loyalty possible. Influence can be learned. Empathy is something that, is, if when you apply empathy, again, empathy also is a learned skill. So you put yourself in circumstances and you devote time to certain activities, and you will start. So there is a saying, my grandmother used to say this, if you live 6 months with an individual, then you start to mimic them. 6 months is too much and too far out. People mimic each other in a matter of minutes these days, and thanks to all the world that we are in, you can follow someone online and on social media, and you tend to kind of pick up and start mimicking them, with unknowingly, unconsciously. So you put yourself in a situation where you are talking to someone who is going through some pain and some suffering, and you are automatically building this silent skill called empathy. I've seen people who have gone to therapy for years. I have had people come into my seminars and workshops telling, and their spouse is telling me that, my spouse, I'm sending my spouse because they do not have empathy, and I need a little bit more empathy in them. And my answer to them was, you can't learn this in a seminar or workshop. You need to put yourself in an activity that demands the soft side of you. Go volunteer in a hospital, go to a nursing facility, go to an old age care facility, and spend some time there, and then, help them and do volunteer, spend some hours and all. So the earlier you start, the better it is. But there is never a wrong time, or you're never too late for this. Okay. Magically, when you do this, everything that you're doing now becomes better. There is something people say, when I go to a place of spirituality, okay, then everything I'm doing happens better. There is recently, I studied, I came across a video, and I do not have that link. Otherwise, I would have, it just happens to come to my mind right now as I'm speaking. Whether there is God or not is debatable. Which religion is superior than the other is debatable. Everybody says my religion is bigger than your religion. There's a group that says there is God. There's a group that says there is no God. There's a group that says there is a heaven. There's a group that says there is hell. There is an interesting story about Mark Twain when he found himself in a gathering where a bunch of people were debating, whether there is a hell or there is a heaven. When people die, where do they go? And Mark Twain was sleeping in the other room, and somebody said, okay, Mark Twain is here. Why are we debating this? Let's find out from him what he believes about hell and heaven. And Mark Twain comes in and says, listen, I can't take sides on this because I have friends in both places. So, but there is one thing about this. It doesn't matter what religion, what belief system, which country, what your beliefs are. But there is something about this video that I saw where the speaker was quoting a data, and the speaker says, just the fact that there is a higher power that is looking upon us, we tend to beat health challenges. We tend to beat psychosomatic disorders. We even beat death just because we believe that there is somebody higher there looking upon us, blessing us. Just that belief is taking away ailments. You see how powerful that is. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Hopefully this is helpful. If it is, do me a favor. If you press that like button, then I can reach some more people. If you make a comment, then I can communicate with you. And if you subscribe to this channel, I'm here at this point every day. Okay, it's getting dark. Wherever you are, you be safe, and I'll be with you as early as tomorrow. Bye now.